Hey friends, this is Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and I'm going to make an alternate version of lazy cakes. Let's make apple lazy cakes. Okay, so what I have right here is a batch of the lazy cake dough. Now, remember how we took them to work? Well, everybody, I was talking to Howie while he was on his lunch today, and somebody did him a favor at work or something. I don't know what it was. But he said, oh, we'll have to make him some cookies or something sometime. And the young lad said, lazy cakes. So, I need some flour. Hang on. Because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to roll this out. I've got some apples here that are starting to go soft. Some of them have got a couple of bruises in them. So, I'm going to use them up. Better use them up than throw them out, right? So, let's get our dough on here. And let's roll it out into a nice thick plate. Do you have an idea where I'm going with this, kids? Alrighty, now let's set this aside. Oh yeah, I've made a heck of a mess here. Let's just see if we can't sweep it into the bowl here. Well, that's just making it worse. Oh well. Now you know when I'm rolling stuff out why I use an old tablecloth folded over, because then I just pick it up, flick it out, and throw it in the wash, and my surface stays clean. All right, let's take out our apple peeling machine. Now remember folks, always put your apples, you put it on the spikes stem side. Why? Because this is the strongest part of the apple, and it will hold up better while you spin it. If you do it this side and the apple is even slightly soft, it will just spin and you'll be frustrated. Oh God, I miss my old one that clamped to the table. What was it, a Pampered Chef, I think it was. See how this apple is kind of brown? Okay, so when I have the rest of these apples peeled and sliced, we'll be back. Okay, so here we have our lazy cake. Now I may be totally destroying its puffiness. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take these apple slices. Some of them are thick, so I'll slice them in half. And I'm just going to cover this with apple slices. And you're going to want some cinnamon sugar. And all I've done is taken about a cup of sugar and stirred in a teaspoon or two of cinnamon. And then we're going to take some of our cinnamon sugar, sprinkle it over the apples just a little bit. We don't want to kill ourselves with sugar here, right? Apples are sweet. And now I'm going to roll it up narrow width-wise, because we don't want these to be too big or they won't cook. And our oven is preheating at 400 degrees. Now just kind of squeeze that last little bit down and roll it onto its seam. Squish everything going. So I'm going to make these thinner than the last ones because I have a filling in them. So I want to make sure that it's going to get cooked That's the end piece. We might add another piece of apple into that. Now, if you notice, I'm not rolling them in sugar. Why? Because we're adding it into the center. So I'm going to say, there's our oven, preheated to 400 degrees. There we go. Okay, now let's dispose of this mess. Oh, I found a missed piece of apple, so I'm just going to press that into the one last lazy cake that didn't have a lot in it. There we go. Because I didn't roll these in sugar, I've kept the sugar, added cinnamon, and I'm just going to coat these. Sprinkle some sugar on there. And now, where's my paring knife? There's my fork. I'm just going to take a piece of butter and put it in the center of each lazy cake. Because as much as, you know, those other lazy cakes were enjoyed, the sugar just didn't caramelize or something. And, everybody enjoyed them, but to me, they were lacking, right? I added a teaspoon of vanilla into the dough recipe as well. Okay. Our oven has been preheated to 400 degrees. And these, oh yeah, let's just do a little bit more sugar just to make sure that butter stays in place. Just a tiny sprinkle. And these are going into a 400 degree oven for 25 minutes. Not 20, 25. Why? Because we've got extra ingredients, so they're probably going to need a little bit longer to cook. Remember, folks, this is an experiment, and you're going to see, where did you go from? There you go. You're going to see whether I succeeded or failed, and I missed a piece of butter. Right there. All right, 400 degrees, 25 minutes. Fingers are crossed. Okay, our timer has gone off, and ooh la la! Look at these beauties. We'll let them cool down and then we'll get Papa to try one. And the boys at his work will be lucky if half of those make it there. Okay, Papa hasn't come in from the garage, so I'm just going to do the thumbs up for you. These turned out to be cakey, but biscuity. They're kind of like a cross between a biscuit and an apple cake, a Dutch apple cake. They're really good. These are going to work with Papa tomorrow for the boys, and these will be for Papa when he comes in. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, apple lazy cakes, just one more thing you can do with your lazy cake batter if you're not feeling so lazy. Take care, God bless.